Hello again, nerds. It's time to do a little viewer request action. Where this round of reactions, I'm going to do 2 viewer requests. This is the first of 2. The first one is Yavid. I'm going to assume that's the proper pronunciation because it's the Jewish version of David, which would not be Yavid. Which is entirely possible. That's how he pronounces it, but I'm assuming it's Yavid. The name of the song is Pyrex Pirate, and there's a little bit of a story here. So let's do this first, and then we'll get into that. All right, so this is another hip hop video. I sincerely doubt I'm going to have the same issues in the comment section with this video as I did with the last hip hop video I did. But that's neither here nor there. I feel like so. Yavid is the lead singer for King 810. So this is his side project, is doing the rap stuff. And then King 810, which was at one point kind of a hardcore band, is not so much anymore. Sorry, microphone just seems to be in a weird place. There we go. I think that might be slightly better. So I don't know. We're not going to get into King 810. We've done 2 videos, well, technically 3, but 2 reaction videos to 3 of their music videos. So I don't know what to expect out of a Yavid song. I guess we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's get to the disclaimer real quick. Again, working off the script. I think there's going to be a couple of tweaks to this script before it gets filmed, but whatever. Here we go. Before we get any further in this video, let's get a couple of things out of the way. First, if you want to listen to this song or watch this video in whole without my commentary, then go do that. This is not the place for that. This is a reaction and analysis video. We are going to have a conversation. We are not here for a watch party. We're not just going to put the video on and go, ooh, look at that. We're going to talk about it. We're going to be stopping it, talking over it, replaying sections, discussing things that work. Second, my analysis is my opinion. My opinion comes from a place of knowledge. I have over 30 years of musical training and experience, 20 years as a professional musician and producer, and also 10 years as a video producer/director. All of that being said, we will be discussing the performance of the song by the musicians. We'll be discussing the production of the video production of the song by the producer, production of the video by the director. Sorry, apparently I can't read right now. Also, like I said, we're going to be stopping, talking over it, blah, 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 blah. Now, let's get on to our reaction video. The first thing before we jump over to the reaction side of this is expectations. I expect this to be very intense. I don't know what to expect out of the production for the song. Apparently, the beat was produced by somebody who calls himself Earthworm Beats. I would imagine Yavid knows him personally. But yeah, that's really all I've got for expectations. It's going to be intense, and the production's going to be, I don't know, for some reason I have a somewhat of an expectation that this is going to be some sort of minimalist production. I couldn't tell you why I have that expectation, but apparently I do. So that's what we've got for expectations. Yavid is from Flint, Michigan. I had the wiki up and it's gone now, so I apologize. But he's definitely from the Rust Belt for sure, and that contributes to the intensity. So let's transition to this, and then we'll jump right into this video. Again, Pyrex Pirate. I was told Pyrex Pirate, actually these 3 that are right here in the search. Pyrex Pirate, Bando Commando, and Where Were You When We Would Ride are the 3 songs that were all requested in the comment section of the last King 810 video. Pyrex Pirate sounded the most interesting to me title-wise, so that is why I went with that one. Yeah, let's just do this. Right off the bat, you can tell he's not too worried about being politically correct, which is kind of awesome. One of the reasons why I have an appreciation for all things King 810. So far, production-wise, we have as expected. This is a fairly minimal beat. Not a whole lot of bottom end, which is kind of surprising to me. Usually, the expectation for any hip hop at all is that there's a pretty driving bottom end, and that doesn't seem to be the case necessarily. That's not to say I don't like it. I was literally just having this conversation yesterday. I really appreciate the lo-fi, almost bit crush kind of sound to some of the underground hip hop stuff. Guy that I work with at the day job was listening to something pretty similar to this actually. So that's really interesting. That bit crush is this. I mean, all right. So in all honesty, this is probably a synth the producer used to make that noise. The doo 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 doo. That's probably just a synth that he found, or a setting in a synth that he found. Then he kind of tweaked to get exactly where he wants it. But to do a bit crush sound with an instrument, it takes a lot of processing and some very expensive gear. So that's one of the levels on which I appreciate that bit crush. The delivery, though, is a different kind of intensity than I was anticipating. I was expecting it to be a little more in your face. I mean, there is some aggressive posturing as far as the body language that Yavid is showing in the video, so that was kind of expected. But I expected it to be a lot more of the growly and a lot less of the kind of under his breath, the fuck 'em, that part. So kind of going out of the expectations a bit. I'm digging it. I really like minimalist beats to begin with. I would have probably appreciated a little bit more on the bottom end as far as production goes, but so far it's all working together very well. Very intense. All right, so here's an example of somebody talking about what they see in their life. Like, I can believe every second of what he's talking about here, because I honestly believe that he has seen, even if it's not exactly the scene that he's illustrating in his lyrics, he's definitely seen something very similar. He's definitely experienced something along those lines, and is just created this scene fictionally in order to, I don't know, just keep out of legal trouble, probably is part of it, and also just to make it more expressive so that he has full control over the narrative of the scene. So very, very believable lyric, very believable delivery. And I don't know how he doesn't blow out his voice when he's got those. I mean, it's not as prevalent in this, but a lot of the King 810 stuff, and I would imagine at least some of his solo stuff, he's uses this growl, this kind of bottom distorted kind of vocal. That sound is very effective. The sound is exactly what I'm sure he's looking for. But man, I bet he has some really interesting vocal issues between shows and recording sessions. Oh yeah, I forgot. There was also a production note that I wanted to put in here. So we're looking at the beat is produced around the F scale. It sounds like F major, I want to say. So there is a bottom end here. I just wasn't hearing it. Maybe I got to turn up my headphones a little bit more, but it seems to me that the producer didn't compress their bass into this song. It's always a compression issue when it comes to production. Sometimes it's EQ, I guess, but when we're talking about hip hop production, it sounds usually like it's compression based. So the bass would definitely benefit because it's moving. There's definitely some movement of that bass on the bottom end. It's just not very audible. I'm sure, again, if I cranked my headphones a little bit more and really kind of dialed it in my head, then I'd be able to hear it better. But then the lyrics would be too loud. Then that vocal would be too on top of it. And that the drum, the snare would be overpowering still. So what I probably would have done differently with this beat production is probably compress the bass separately from everything else, and then maybe bust it all together before you put the vocals on it, and then that way you have better control over the volume. But that bass just is sitting way too low in the mix, and I feel like the song is kind of suffering because of it. All right, so video production note. Question, I guess, is probably more appropriate. I don't understand the significance of the random birds. It seems that they're just random birds. I really dig the occasional color shots because by and large this video is in black and white, but then you get the two guys in the background holding those guns, and like we're looking at right now on screen, and it accents kind of what I'm assuming is what the message of the video, although I can't decipher it from the lyrics. I was paying more attention to the overall sound rather than specifically the words that were coming out of his mouth. But it seems like there's a consumerism kind of message that they're trying to get across, because we have Chanel on the one, and then we have, I don't remember, it was another designer on the other. So Yeah, I really appreciate that. That's visually very pleasing. The one thing that seems really out of place though is the birds. I don't understand why the birds are there. I really the minimalist approach to this video is really super effective as well. We get a lot of really small effects that are placed in spots, like that stretch effect, that warp effect that they were using in the shots where it was Yavid in front of the two guys with the guns. And kind of warped his face in a couple of spots and just generally warped the image. But it was just that narrow band of warping. I feel like that was super effective. The really quick cuts, the I forget what that edit is called. Jump cuts, there we go. The really quick cuts, the really quick jump cuts, also very effective for the kind of manic energy in the song. I dig it. I think this is something that I feel like some of the hip-hop heads that I know who listen to underground stuff would probably appreciate in spite of who makes it, because they generally don't listen to white dudes rap for whatever reason, because I don't know, because that's just their mindset, or for whatever reason. That's a lot of hip hop heads' mindsets, is that, you know, white dudes are, if you're not Eminem, you don't belong in the scene kind of shit. And that might even be an over caricaturization of their stance, but it's along those lines. You know what I mean? Even some of them don't even appreciate the lyricism of Eminem. So, this is just effective all over. I really dug this. I appreciate the suggestion. Thank you very much, viewers. I believe that's all we've got for the video. So let me see. It's got like 8 seconds left. Let's check it out. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so that brings us to the end, guys. What did you think of the song? This was kind of unexpected. I did Louis Vuitton. That was the other designer. I didn't necessarily anticipate appreciating or liking this much as much as I did, but I definitely dug it. I really like Yavid. I really like King 810 apparently. So there you go. I don't know if this. So here's a great comparison to make, is comparing this to the Run the Jewels video that we did 2 weeks ago. Production wise, I think even with the one minor issue at the beginning of that Run the Jewels track, I feel like the Run the Jewels track was better. But I don't know, it would probably take me longer than I have in this video to exactly pinpoint why. I did appreciate the delivery of this one slightly better, because, or at least the lyrical content from the little bit that I did glean. Because again, even the Run the Jewels one, I only gleaned certain things out of that lyrical content, and everybody took issue with it in the comments section. But even so, I feel like the story being told here with the lyrical content is much more believable than the Run the Jewels. I just feel like the production was a little bit more polished for the Run the Jewels track. So that's a fair comparison to make. Yeah, so there you go, guys. What did you think? What should I do next? I'm always willing to do a recommendation. Like I said, I have a couple more. I'm going to do one more at this batch, and then we're going to call it a night. I'm going to go do a stream over on Twitch. Mortal Kombat 11, baby. So yeah, definitely leave a suggestion in the comments section, or let's talk a little bit more about the production of this song and the video and so on and so forth down in the comment section as well. There is other things going on right here on the channel. You can check those out by clicking or tapping one of those two boxes right there below my face. Don't forget to click the subscribe button right there in the center. GenerallyNerdy.net is the website. Patreon.com/GenerallyNerdy to support a little bit more directly. Thank you very much, nerds, for joining me. Again, leave me a suggestion for another one to do, because I'm, again, always up for suggestions. Before we head out, though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.